Hello everyone, I am Tacet and today I'm going to be going over the Dead Men Tell No Tales event in which Captain Skullbeard is added to the game. So let's get into that. So Captain Skullbeard, what does he does? He creates 5 skulls, additional 3 for every single treasure map you have, and then explodes a bunch of gems. Some things to note is that these skulls aren't automatically matched. For example, if he does end up getting pairs out of these skulls, they will not actually be claimed because they're just going to be exploded away by his explosions. This makes the amount of damage that he does pretty minimal, mainly based on one damage per skull that he explodes. One thing to note though, even though this may seem weak from a damage perspective, he is relatively strong in the fact that he only has a 11 mana cost. This makes him the cheapest troop of anything that can do mass explosions to the board. So that is one pretty decent benefit that he has, since he is able to get out quite a few explosions for pretty quick. Since it only takes 11 mana, most of the other ones that can mass explode require 12 mana. So that's the main thing he has going for him. He also has the highest base attack of anything that can explode, mainly because he's a rogue, and many rogues do tend to have a high base attack. As far as traits, you will not need to worry about them at all. He has pretty abysmal traits, so you can kind of just ignore them. What you will want to trait though, since it is a green-blue, I definitely advise buying multiple of these because they are very, very good trait stones, plus they only cost 200 glory each. Things you would use these for are things like a druid, a web spinner, a mercy, and a Christine axe. Troops like those are probably some of the best things you could really trait with these green blues. You can pretty much just completely ignore Captain Skullbeard. He does not need any of those traits. So let's get into some teams with him. First, we'll start off with a all rogue team. Might as well. It is the Blackhawk week anyways, so we'll be able to utilize that pretty well. Going to be setting it with the triple combo of rogues, pretty common Tyree, Bonnie Rose with the little Johnny. Really nice combo, works out nice too, since two things create maps, and he does utilize the extra maps that we will be able to obtain. Starting off the board, we will want to try to focus getting his mana as quick as possible. Since he is so ridiculously strong this week from 50%, it is nice to take skulls. Though if we're going to get entangled like that, then we can't take skulls. But we'll just focus then on mana. Bonnie Rose, of course, does have 50% too. She hits extremely hard. And one nice thing is, even this late in the game, she will be able to one-shot now. Normally, on most given weeks, she is not able to one-shot. She normally comes out a little short. But now she definitely will be able to. Okay, it looks like it's going to get a nice Valkyrie. It's going to get a Rowan. This Entangle is definitely disabling us some. As soon as we can get one of our troops' manas up, should pretty much be good to go. We don't have any really good initial board control, other than just trying to rush up our... trying to get the beard, and then just getting that explosion off. So we do have him up with his extremely high 29 magic, mainly because he has 50% this week. His base magic is actually relatively low, so on a given week that's not like this week, he will have a much lower magic, of course. So we will get our extra turn. We will get mana on absolutely everything. Really nice explosion there. And of course, we did get to preserve our turn. One other nice thing about using it with Bonnie Rose as well is he does have Greedy, so we are gaining even more gold. Actually, everything on this team, except for the Bonnie Rose, has Greedy on it if you happen to have their first traits or the second traits on him, which you likely won't have since it is pretty expensive though. But we will go, and we don't really need to use a Tyree now. I guess we'll throw a little Johnny and hope it doesn't miss. And okay, so we did get to hit, still entangled. Was hoping for an extra turn though for that little bit of gold so we could Bonnie Rose afterwards, which we didn't end up getting. So we'll just throw it at Rowan, make sure we don't have to deal with any of her armor. Then we'll start going for the Salvini more, so it'll stop entangling us. Good, we do get to cleanse. As I said earlier though, if we do end up matching skulls, we do not actually get them because they just immediately get exploded. This works the same way with things like green slime and stuff like that. A little bit annoying, but it would be kind of overpowered if it did do it in the reverse order, because you'd get a huge amount of damage and then you'd also get a nice amount of explosions, which pretty much get all of your mana back. But you can see the explosions are doing pretty well. I really want to kill that out, but I don't want to have to waste a Bonnie Rose, so I guess we'll just cast his ability. It's a little bit of a waste here. The only thing we're getting mana on is himself. But you can see, one explosion, he pretty much gets all of his mana back. This might be slightly less so, of course, when it's on a normal week, but at least on this current week, when he has 50%, getting all that extra magic to his explosions, it's definitely giving pretty much all of his mana back every single time, which is really nice. So we'll throw that down, get a nice little poke. That'll be that one out. We should have enough damage to pretty much hit all of them out now whenever we start targeting that. We still haven't managed to get a map yet. Haven't really been bothering using Tyree. Haven't seen an instance yet where we can really get her out, so we'll just throw this down and focus more on spamming the Bonnie if we can. Okay, we might be able to get a Tyree off here now. Yeah, looks like if we could do it on the yellow, that would be fine. Good, we get our free skull. Didn't get a map though. Feel like this entire battle we're most likely not going to get a map, but we'll remove green here. Get those double skulls, maybe we'll get something off the top, and we do get a map. He does create 3 more skulls per every single map that we get. Little Johnny also creates 4 additional skulls for every single map that we get. Really, there's not much of a point of getting more maps on a Captain Skullbeard. It doesn't really give him much of a benefit, but on Johnny it definitely does. He's also the troop that you can get from doing a bunch of maps this week for the event objectives. But it looks like we're going to lose our Beard. And there he goes. There goes the ghost. And we'll just have to tap it out with a Bonnie or something. And we'll just do just that. We'll just take away reds. And that'll be the last of the mana we'll need. And now we can just poke at it. Doesn't matter what Mercy does now, even if it ends up getting a kill. We can just tap it out, get our max gold, and go on from there. So a little bit of a bad start. As long as you can just rush up and get the Beard up as quick as possible, you'll be pretty much good to go with the first explosion, get mana on everything, and you can kind of just go from there. And this team is set up so if you do lose your first troop, you still cover every single color. And I can tell already that his team has a Bone Dragon. Yep, okay. Well, this, I guess we could try doing it. If we can win against this, we can win against pretty much anything with this team. But this is very similar to one of my base teams. We're going to be using all explosions though. It's Gorgultha, Dragon Soul, Captain Skullbeard, and Goblin Rocket. Every single one of them can explode. All of them mass explode except for Goblin Rocket. The main reason for using Goblin Rocket is we can automatically get an extra turn on him, which will give us even more board control. Since everything else is basically board clear, we do want to at least have one thing that can control the board instead of just clearing it every single time. But this team should go a lot smoother than the previous one. We do have a solid tank, we do have our damage, and we do have the pretty much infinite extra turns at the bottom there. As soon as we get rolling, we should pretty much be good to go. Every single turn, we should be able to get an explosion off. He may take that away slightly, but for the most part, we're going to have so many explosions that he's not going to be able to keep up with our mana. Something like a Queen Mab would be really annoying against this team, and I would definitely advise getting away from it, but against pretty much everything else, it should work decently. But we just keep throwing everything out. Every single time we get our Goblin Rocket to full mana, we will want to cast it out. One other nice thing about the Goblin Rocket is we are getting one additional fire. Whenever we take reds, we do get one additional mana due to his fire link on his first trait. So that'll help us get up our Dragon Soul even quicker. Let's see, anything we can drop? Yeah, we can get some skulls right there. We'll go just for that. And then we'll finally get the Beard off. So we'll throw him down. And as you can see, even when he takes those skulls, unfortunately, we don't actually get to claim them. But we can take another skull there. Oh, never mind. There goes Bone Dragon. Luckily, we have a Gorgultha there, though it's still going to kill through a Gorgultha. We do get Demonic Pact, though, so I guess that ends up helping. But we'll go through for our skull right here. Just drop it down from the top. Okay. Throw down Dragon Soul, get that off again, and kind of just keep looping until we win. Dragon Soul again. We'll pretty much get max souls every single time from how many times we'll have to cast the Dragon Soul. But there we go, another poke. We'll throw down the Goblin Rocket, we'll throw down the Beard, and we'll go from there. Can we get any kind of cascade? Well, we'll try it up here. We have 2 chances of getting a skull here, so we'll aim for either of those 2. Get neither. Actually, I didn't even get a single skull drop from that. But we'll get our explosion. I'll take that out. And now all we have to do is just poke it out with anything, and we're good to go. And we still have our Goblin Rocket into another cast, into whatever we really want to do. So, there we go. That's match. Yeah, definitely went a lot smoother. Has a lot of potential with it, with how many explosions. The Beard in general has pretty decent potential as far as what it can really be used for. I keep calling it the beard because I keep forgetting what he's called. Captain Skullbeard. I need to call him Skullbeard instead. That would make a lot more sense than just the beard. The ghostly beard. But anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. If you guys have any other questions about Captain Skullbeard or anything else in the game in general, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Definitely a nice troop. I could see me using him with a lot of other variants of explosion teams. He's also a relatively cheap explosion. He is an epic, but given his mana cost, he's definitely going to have some potential in future weeks. Do keep in mind, after this week, I'm pretty sure he's only going to have anywhere from a 6 to about 9-ish explosions as far as how many gems he will destroy. Some things that might be able to offset this is using something like a humility in your team, or something that can feed him just a little bit of magic to the point where he'll do at least 10 gem explosions. It is pretty nice to have on an exploding troop at least 10 gem explosions, because that's about the minimum to have the potential to be able to get all your mana back. And given that he has a lower mana cost, normally it's more towards about 12, but since he has a lower mana cost, he should be able to get back with just as low as 10 gem explosions. So do keep that in mind on future weeks when he doesn't have like 25% or 50% extra bonus. But anyways, that'll wrap it up. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.